Good evening. Jack Shadow here, Lord of the Dark Domain. It's time once again when I leave the high halls of Castle Shadow to descend into the cold, dripping cellars far below. Down into the crypts. Do you like ghost stories? Urban legends? Spine-tingling scary stories? Yes? Then join me tonight as I present another one of my cryptic tales. Gather close, if you dare. Now let's conjure up another chiller from the Book of Shadows, shall we? Tonight, a tale from the Arizona Territory in the fall of 1878, when a masked avenger and his Comanche partner hunted not outlaws, but a beast that walked as man by day and wolf by night. Silver buys justice in the West, but some debts are paid in blood. Are you ready for tonight's story? Then turn the lights down low. Pull that blanket up around you tight. Lock the doors and start gathering your silver. The beast is about to awaken in this tale I call Silver Under the Blood Moon.
They called him the Masked Rider, a mysterious man who appeared wherever injustice had taken hold and where those who preyed upon the innocent believed they were beyond the reach of the law. Legend said he carried silver bullets molded from melted-down heirloom coins, pieces of the past reforged into instruments of justice. Masked in black cloth from nose to eyes, his dark hat pulled low, he rode the forgotten trails of the territory, bringing judgment where the law could not. Some claimed he was the ghost of a fallen lawman. Others said he was simply a man who had lost too much and feared nothing. But those who knew the truth understood one thing. The Masked Rider did not hunt men for revenge. He hunted those who had become monsters. His companion was Quanah, a Comanche warrior who walked between two worlds. He carried a revolver at his side, but also carried the knowledge of generations before him. His medicine pouch held herbs, remedies, and stories of things beyond the understanding of ordinary men. Together, they had tracked cattle thieves across the Arizona Territory for weeks. Then the killings began. The first was a ranch hand found outside Tucson. The wounds were not made by a knife or a bullet, but by claws. Then came a stagecoach guard discovered along a lonely trail, his throat torn open beneath the light of a full moon. The tracks left behind were too large for any wolf, too strange for any bear, and too deliberate to belong to any ordinary animal. Quanah studied the prints beside the firelight. For a long time, he said nothing. "There are old stories," Quanah said. "Stories of men who carried darkness inside them." The Masked Rider watched him carefully. "A curse?" Quanah nodded. "A man who walks in two forms, a man by day, a beast by night." The rider looked at the tracks. "A werewolf." "Many names have been given to such a creature," Quanah replied. "But the name does not matter. What matters is that somewhere a man is losing a battle with something inside him." The Masked Rider tightened his grip on his revolver. "Then we find the man before we face the beast." Their trail led them to Red Rock Gulch, a dying mining settlement of empty buildings, abandoned shafts, and forgotten dreams. The townspeople spoke of a man named Harlan Crowe, a powerful man, a wealthy man, a stranger who arrived with nothing but ambition and desperation, yet somehow discovered a fortune hidden beneath the mountain. They said he found a rich vein of silver deep within the earth, but no one ever saw him working the mine. Within a short time, his fortune grew beyond imagination. With his newfound wealth, Harlan built himself a grand home on the edge of the settlement, far above the dusty streets and abandoned tunnels. It was the finest house for miles, a symbol of his success and the power he had gained. But as the years passed, something changed. The lights in the great house burned less often. The doors remained locked, and the man who built the home became a prisoner inside it. Every month, when the moon became full, Harlan Crowe disappeared. The saloon keeper lowered his voice. Something happened to that man in those tunnels. Quanah looked toward the mountain, his eyes fixed on the darkness beyond the town. Take us there.
Take us there.
Deep inside the abandoned mine, they discovered something that did not belong. The old tunnels opened into a hidden chamber carved into stone. The walls were covered with strange markings. In the center of the room sat an old wooden chest. Inside were pages from Harlan Crowe's journal. The truth was finally revealed. Years earlier, Harlan had been desperate. His mine was failing. His fortune was disappearing. His workers had abandoned him. He was willing to do anything to save what he had built. Then deep beneath the earth, he found an old woman living among the abandoned tunnels. The miners called her a witch. She told Harlan the mountain held riches beyond imagination. But she warned him. The earth does not give without taking. Harlan asked, "What do you want from me?" The old woman smiled. "Only what you already possess." Harlan believed she meant his money, his possessions, his future. He agreed. The next morning, Harlan discovered the richest vein of silver the territory had ever seen. His fortune returned. His name became famous. But then the changes began. His strength grew, his anger grew, his dreams filled with howling voices, and when the full moon rose, something else looked through his eyes. The final page of the journal contained one sentence. "She gave me the power of the mountain, but never told me the mountain wanted my soul." Quanah closed the journal. "The witch." The masked rider looked at him. "Where is she now?" Quanah turned the page. A burial record. The woman had died decades before Harlan ever entered the mine. The masked rider stared into the darkness. So Harlan made a bargain with a dead woman? Quanah looked toward the endless tunnels. Perhaps the question is not whether she was alive. Perhaps the question is, what was pretending to be her? The next full moon rose over Red Rock Gulch. The masked rider and Quanah waited outside Harlan's home. They had prepared for this night. The rider opened the cylinder of his revolver. Inside rested 6 silver bullets, carefully molded and prepared before they arrived. Quanah watched the home. "You know what must be done." The masked rider closed the cylinder. "If there is still a man inside that creature, we save him."
And if the beast has taken everything, then we end his suffering.
Quanah watched the home in silence. Then he spoke.
There's something you must know.
About the creature?
The stories say that the beast carries more than just claws and teeth. It carries a curse. If it bites you, or if its claws draw your blood, the curse can pass from the creature to you. And what happens then? If you survive the wound, you will become what it is.
Even a good man will turn into the beast, for the man who is cursed must fight what lives inside him, and every full moon the creature waits to take control. The rider glanced down at his revolver. A silence fell between them. The masked rider looked toward the darkened windows of Harlan Crowe's home. "Then we make sure he does not pass that curse to anyone else. This ends tonight, Quanah." Silence filled the gulch. Then came the sound. A howl, Not the howl of a wolf, the howl of something that had once been human. It came from somewhere from within the house. Suddenly the front door burst open. A large, hairy creature emerged from the home. It walked upright like a man, but looked like a savage beast. It growled like a rabid wolf. The werewolf had awakened. The creature charged. The masked rider fired. The silver bullet struck its shoulder. The beast staggered backward and released a howl that sounded almost like a man's scream. Then it attacked. Claws tore at the rider's chest and ripped through his vest. Quanah threw a pouch of sage and cedar into the air. Smoke filled the creature's path, and the beast recoiled. The masked rider moved quickly. He fired again and again. Silver struck fur and bone. The creature fell. Its roar faded. The beast looked at the men as its face began to shift and humanity began to return. The werewolf disappeared, and Harlan Crowe lay beneath the moonlight once more. A dying man. The mine, he whispered. The darkness. It wasn't a gift. Quanah covered Harlan with a blanket to try to make him comfortable, and he and the rider knelt beside him. No. It was a debt. And with those final words, Harlan Crowe was gone. The masked rider examined the damage to his vest. The claws had come close. Very close, but there was no wound, no blood, no curse. Quanah looked at the moon above them. The silver held true. The men dug a grave that night. In the early hours, they buried Harlan on his land overlooking the Victorian house. The silver bullets remained in his chest, keeping the curse where it belonged. The next morning, the masked rider and Quanah rode out of Red Rock Gulch, leaving the little mining town behind. Together, they disappeared into the morning mist, two riders against the horizon. Harlan Crowe finally rested in peace beneath the hill, overlooking the grand home he had built with cursed silver. But the mountain remained, silent, patient. And somewhere deep beneath the earth, the ancient darkness that had worn the face of an old woman still waited, waiting for another desperate soul willing to make a bargain.
And so the trail never really ends. It just circles back under a different moon. The beast may fall, the man may fade, but whatever called it from the earth doesn't forget so easily. Because some curses don't stay buried, they just find a new rider. So if you ever hear something scratching where no one should be, or calling from a place long abandoned, don't go looking. You might not like what you find. Tell me in the comments, would you stand your ground or ride the other way? Subscribe if these scary stories chill your blood. I'll have more cryptic tales coming soon, so be sure to turn on the notifications. I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. Join me next time for more frightening fun as I present another of Jack Shadow's Cryptic Tales. Until we meet again, I bid you adieu, my children of the night.